Crouch. Bind. Set.
Joe presents the House of Rugby, together with Guinness.
Hello and welcome to our second mini-pod on House of Rugby, brought to you by Joe, together with our very good friends at Guinness. There's a bit of friction in the air, certainly in the media zones. Is that fair?
With Guinness?
No, not with Guinness, with Eddie Jones, just hamping out. You
I
obviously
thought you were
need a
talking
drink.
about the meme,
No,
the Carlsberg, and, you know.
We need a Guinness, obviously. There's a little bit going on now with Eddie Jones, trying to just get under the skin of Steve Hansen. So we thought
I don't think it's working though.
No, not yet.
No.
But we thought
See what else he comes up with.
We'd rebuild Anglo-Kiwi relations with the fabulous Kirstie Stanway, who's alongside. Well, yeah, we're going to keep our elbows in.
Yes.
Are you happy to go for a bit of a wander and we'll assess the lie of the land leading into the semi-final this weekend?
I think we can do that.
The competitive element is ready
Yeah,
to go.
I may
Before we get into the rugby itself,
faster.
though, yeah, we can do that. Before we get into the rugby, though, I have to start with one question, which has almost been the highlight of Rugby World Cup 2019 for me, and that is the marvellous Jack Goodhue mullet.
That's your highlight.
It's one of, yeah. I'm definitely put it in my top 5. Can you just talk us through why?
The why of the mullet.
Well,
scientifically speaking, according to a Harvard University study, apparently it makes them faster. That's what he says. But why? Well, last year on the end of year tour, the All Blacks had a mullet movement.
Right.
Go figure.
Yeah.
All looking very beautiful while on tour, or maybe it's just that they didn't want to fork out for haircuts, I'm not sure. But everyone in the team was involved. Exactly. Sam Kane, Brodie Retallick, Bowden, Geordie, Scott, they all got involved in it, and obviously Jack grew his too. Once the tour finished, they cut the mullets off so that they could go back to their wives and partners looking clean, of course, and not getting filthy looks. But he decided to keep his and has vowed to keep it until his wedding day because he's currently engaged and has a massive deal with Women's Day.
Wow. It is a work of art. It probably needs a place in some sort of New Zealand
proven
museum when it finally comes off. What about the rugby itself? How are we feeling leading into Saturday?
Quietly confident.
Quietly, or just flat out
just
confident?
Just a little bit confident.
Right.
Oh, but it's a semi-final, you know, anything can happen in a semi-final. But I think we'll win.
How are the All Blacks? I mean, so you're over here, obviously, with Sky Sport at the moment. You've got a daily show. You're going into the news channel down there as well. I imagine it's been quite a busy few weeks. Have you been in and around the All Black camp quite a bit?
Every day, almost.
Right.
Yeah.
What
Those
are
fun,
up?
aren't they?
Yeah.
The press conferences are a great time if you ever get the chance to do that. Fairly relaxed. Last week they were anyway, for the most part. Steve Hansen and Ian Foster, the assistant coach, a little bit uptight at times and a little bit tense. There's obviously other things going on, or it is playoff football, so do or die. But the players seem to be pretty relaxed. They're laughing around at training and the press conferences.
Yeah.
But how many of them have been here before?
Yeah, I mean, that experience factor is enormous. When you say that you don't get anything from them in a press conference...
I didn't say that. I just said it was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, right, OK. When you alluded to the fact you don't get anything from them in a press conference, who is the best All Black to have on top table or to sit down
Angus
with?
Tarval.
Really?
100%.
Because?
He is brilliant. He's so clever. He's hilarious. He's entertaining. So when we were down in Oeta in Bipu for the game against Canada, someone's phone rang. Someone from actually the World Broadcast.
On top table, who was recording.
On the top table, who was recording it. Their phone rang. Rookie mistake. Never, ever leave your phone not on silent if it's going on the table. He picked it up and he had a conversation with the journalist's friend and then hung up and carried on like nothing had happened and continued answering the question.
I like that.
He's so smart.
I like
He's like our James Haskell.
Good. Oh, is he really?
He is our James Haskell.
Is he as
Angus
noisy?
Tarval.
As
Probably
big?
a better dancer though. He's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Probably a bit funnier too.
Right, good.
He's a great joker.
You're welcome any time. You're getting very into the groove of House of Rugby.
Sorry, James.
You had him on this morning, actually, didn't you?
We did have him on this morning. For the most part.
For the most part. He was on with Justin and Sir John Kerwin.
Yes. What a dream team.
What a dream team.
That was the dream panel.
And
I didn't have to say anything.
Did Hass do most of the talking as per, or did JK
Before,
and Justin put him back in his
during,
box?
after the show.
Good.
Yeah.
What is a genuine question? What is the perception of someone like Haskell in New Zealand? Because he's obviously played down there with the Highlanders.
Yeah, so people love him. If they've come to New Zealand, then, and he loves New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like he was saying this morning that he would have loved to have stayed and played another year. New Zealand holds a very special place in his heart. If people come to New Zealand, we love them, all foreigners. And, you know, why wouldn't you?
Do you think more players, I mean, because obviously Ronan O'Gara's been down as a coach with the Crusaders. Do you think more players should would be allowed to get the opportunity to play in New Zealand?
Well, it's a huge advantage if you do, right?
Yeah.
Because it's completely different to playing
Yeah.
in the Six Nations or in the Premiership. And he spoke about that as well, that the game, you know, the types of games that you play are different.
Yeah.
So you're just adding an extra string to your bow if you come and play in the Southern Hemisphere competition.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It's actually our greatest ever. Martin Johnson played for King Country,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think it's something like that. There's obviously something in there. So in terms of the squad, they're settled, they're happy. What's the sort of general vibe of the public back home?
Well, obviously we're an 11-hour flight from New Zealand.
Yeah.
But New Zealanders, they're confident, aren't they? I
Yeah.
mean, we're probably a bit too cocky when it comes to the All Blacks because we've been so successful for the last 8 years.
Yep.
Back-to-back World Cups. Before I came to the World Cup, put it this way, everyone just expected the All Blacks to win another World Cup, to come home with that three-peat.
Despite the fact that a couple of wobbles in the build-up.
Yes, everyone just expects them to come home with the goods. But then South Africa happened in that first game, which was close in parts. Obviously, the hiding that we got in Australia, in Perth.
Yes.
So that makes people nervous a bit, but no. Confident, not cocky.
Unbelievable.
Confident in our team.
And off the back of, obviously, Saturday and Ireland, do you look at that game and think, crikey, Ireland just, they've lost their way over the last 12 months, or do you see that as an All Black performance that just gave Ireland no oxygen to play?
Both. Ireland have lost their way, haven't they?
I think they've admitted in the aftermath that they've sort of slightly run out of puff at the wrong time.
There was fears that coming into this World Cup they had peaked early.
Yeah.
Beating the All Blacks twice. They have.
Yeah.
But the All Blacks were also ruthless, weren't they?
Yeah.
Considering they hadn't
Yeah.
played in 2 weeks. They hadn't played in 13 days because of their final pool match getting cancelled.
Yeah.
And they had a 10-day turnaround in there as well. Like, they have not had a smooth run into a playoff match.
Yes.
Brodie Retallick had only played, 40 minutes of rugby.
Yep.
Like, it was ridiculous how brutal they were. But that's what they can do to you, right?
Yes.
In that first half.
It's
just shut the game down.
It's rugby from another level. Is there a sort of Saturday will obviously be the test of this, but is there a perception or is there an acknowledgement of how much New Zealand have improved in the last, I'm going to say 2 years, but that's actually probably 12 months. I mean, if you think back to that Lions tour,
Yeah,
which the Lions did unbelievably well to draw,
they did.
New Zealand now look like a totally different team.
Yeah, but you think about the controversial moments that happened, the
Yeah.
red card,
Yeah.
some of the other
The penalty
refereeing.
at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There were things that happened in that the All Blacks probably should have won that series.
I wouldn't dispute that at all. But the fact that they didn't, I
Yeah.
think the Lions would be pushed to draw a series this year.
Yep. I think.
Where's
there's no
that
way
improvement sort of seemingly come from?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't actually thought about it.
They haven't really sort of discussed their evolution
Well,
and their development.
There's been changes of players. Like during the Lions series, Rieko Ioane
Yep.
was the out-and-out
Phenomenal.
star, like the World Breakthrough Player of the Year. Like
Yeah.
you would never think during that Lions series, 2 years ago, that he wouldn't be starting or even in the 23 for the All Blacks at the World Cup.
Extraordinary.
And like Damien McKenzie was in there. Geordie Barrett was
Yep.
starting at fullback in one of those tests. These
Yep.
guys aren't even here. Laumape was
Yeah.
in there. Like Bowden, Barrett, Richie Mo'unga, that combination is a sucker punch, right?
Yeah.
That 1-2
And
punch.
what's interesting is a lot of people have questioned that as a
They
movie.
did at the start.
Yeah, but I just wondered now, are New Zealand very comfortable with two playmakers at 10 and 15?
You've obviously seen how they've developed. I think they've
Absolutely,
played
yeah.
maybe 6 games or 7
like that.
games together.
Yeah.
First 2, a little bit wobbly, still getting used to one another.
Yeah.
No one really knew who was taking control. The halfback was like, who do I pass the ball to?
Yeah.
Is it to Bodie? Is it to Richie?
Yeah.
Now, when you see both of them running, it's scary.
Yeah.
Right? It's scary.
/ terrifying.
Terrifying. Imagine if you're on the other side of that and you see both of them starting to run up the field. Who's going to do what?
Yeah.
They're both like magicians.
Yeah.
And Sevu Reece, where did he come from? He wasn't
George
even.
Bridge as well.
And George Bridge.
I mean, George
they
Bridge
weren't in
looks
the
like-
mix
he looks like a
when the
student.
Lions were on.
I know.
And now they're the 2 best wingers for the All Blacks. And where would you say they rank in terms of world wingers at the moment
They've
at
got
this
to be
World
right
Cup?
up there.
Yeah. And they weren't even a thing.
No.
Our systems in New Zealand are unbelievable for growing these players.
Because everything is focused, excuse me, on the top.
rugby. Yeah.
But everything, even from
Oh,
school, leads
exactly.
up to the All Blacks.
Yeah. Or the college system in New Zealand, college rugby, is
Yeah.
amazing.
Right. Actually, I've seen some of that stuff on YouTube,
It's
like the schools rugby and the school hackers, and
the
that's
full hacker.
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable if you ever get a chance to see those in real life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where is Steve Hansen at the moment? And we'll pick up on the Eddie comments in a moment or two, but is he just quietly doing his own thing?
He is. He's just quietly getting along with things. Unlike New Zealanders being cocky, well, Stevie doesn't have to be, does he?
No.
Because his team is doing the job for him, so he doesn't need to say anything. So he just goes along.
Quite dry.
Yeah, he's...
Ex-copper?
Well, yeah, he's an ex-detective, but usually he has a couple of funny one-liners that he likes to throw out there every now and again. He hasn't had any this week, not yet. He's letting Eddie do the talking.
Yep.
He's just, going along for the ride.
And will he be, I mean, he's obviously doing a very professional job in front of the cameras, but internally, is he actually biting his lip? Is he laughing? Is he totally disinterested? Is he having to force himself not to bite? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I reckon he's quite a cheeky guy and would like to, which is why sometimes you get little tidbits from him.
Yeah.
But
they're quite good mates, though, aren't they?
They're very good friends.
Yeah.
How long have they coached against each other? How many beers have they had in a changing room afterwards?
Yeah.
They always message each other. They're really good friends.
Amazing. And what is the sort of feeling? Because obviously, one of the things that Eddie Jones was getting into is the fact that it's obviously Steve Hansen's finale, Kieran Read's finale.
And the rest, Ben Smith.
Yeah, Ben Smith. But is that a factor, do you think? I mean, are New Zealand...
Well, they say they're not thinking
goodbye?
about it. So you ask Kieran Read, and the party line goes, oh, I haven't even thought about it, to be honest, that this could be the last game. But obviously, he's known that this is the moment, right?
Yeah.
He's known that he's not going to go another Rugby World Cup cycle. He's signed on to play overseas next year.
Yeah.
So he wants his last moment to be lifting that Webb Ellis Cup at the end of the tournament. There is no way you can tell me he has not thought about that moment.
Yeah.
No way. They've thought about it, but they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to put that internal pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
Or on the team, I guess.
It actually reminds me of 4 years ago when RUGBYJOE wouldn't talk about it. He hadn't even said, I'm going to retire. He said, I'll make a decision
totally different
afterwards.
person, though.
Absolutely.
RUGBYJOE was, just completely dedicated everything to rugby.
Is Kieran Read, what else has Kieran Read sort of broader horizons?
So get this is something interesting that a lot of people may not know about him, but he loves Pearl Jam. He loves just rocking out, so he goes to like garage gigs to heavy metal rock music in Christchurch. Just turns up to a garage and has like a 15-man party, and the others don't know who he is because they're into rock and roll, not rugby.
That is unbelievable.
The captain of the All Blacks.
Why has he never had the sort of long, Def Leppard hair?
I don't know.
How extraordinary.
So that's one thing that's quite interesting about our dear captain.
Your dear leader.
Our dear leader, Kieran.
What will he do you think? Because obviously Richie's he flies helicopters and things, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Is he,
maybe he'll join a rock band.
Maybe he will.
Maybe I could see him on like a wee electric guitar.
Like a jamming session.
Yeah.
Drums?
Could be.
Would you go to a gig? Would you go to a Kieran Read gig? Is that your
Not
kind
really
of,
rock and roll.
No, okay.
Not really rock and roll, but I'm sure he'd would see him there rather than up in the air.
Yeah.
Or doing those endurance races that Richie does.
Yes.
He's crazy.
He's quite dedicated to
Well, he needs to, right?
Yeah.
He
Channel
needs
the
to
energy.
totally channel his focus on one single thing.
Yeah.
He's that type of person.
Still a ledge. Still very much a ledge.
Great guy.
Here's a question for you, and I'd love to know how you're going to answer this. I'm going to rephrase it. Where are the All Blacks vulnerable on Saturday?
Oh, you're testing me now.
Kiwis don't really do sort of self-doubt or
No, they don't. So
concerns,
now I actually have to dig deep and think about this one.
Go into the psyche.
Where are
they
vulnerable?
Mentally? Do you think physically? I mean, tactically, I imagine
I don't
you'll
think
back yourselves
physically. And I don't think mentally because, I'm going to name drop here, but their mental skills coach, Gilbert Anoka, who is another one of these incredible guys, part of that All Blacks Brains Trust that is leaving after the World Cup, has done such a good job with them. And like John Kerwin said to us this morning, the reason why they're so successful now is because they lost for 20 years and they know how it felt. So now everything they do is so calculated and prepared during the week and the year leading up, in the 4 years leading up to the Rugby World Cup. They don't think the mental side of things will be an issue. They'll be up for this game too, right?
Of course, absolutely.
They'll so be up for this game. When you think about the last result, it was 1 point in it?
Yeah.
Just 1 point.
And actually, it was... it came down, I don't know, do you remember the Sam Underhill try, no try?
Yeah.
We're talking marginal calls there, hopefully around this way.
So I don't know where their weakness is, to be honest.
So you've got no concerns at all?
No. That's
love
cocky
that.
of me, isn't it?
That is
That's
setting
really cocky,
yourself
and I'm
up for a fall.
trying to
So I'll flip it round then.
keep my feet on the ground.
What do you like or respect or are impressed by with England? Oh my lord.
Well, do
This
you
is
have
going- this is going
anything
viral.
good to say about the All Blacks?
I think you're quite clearly the number one side in world rugby. I think
But
you
that's
are
what
the team
everyone
to beat.
says.
Yeah, but I'm impressed by the All Blacks because of the reputation and the rugby that you play. I mean,
Well,
the
I'm
performance
impressed
against
what
Ireland was
how Eddie Jones has transformed them in 4 years. When you think about 2015, they didn't even make it out of their pool at
Yeah.
a home tournament.
Yeah.
4 years later, they're into their first semi-final since 2007.
Yeah.
So the transformation, not only in the last 4 years, but in
Yeah.
the last sort of year.
Yeah.
When Ireland came into this tournament as probably, well, they were number one, weren't they? And probably everyone thought them and Wales were going to be the top 2 Six Nations sides.
Yep.
But England has proved their worth. If
So
I'm going to say something nice.
I
that's-
love what you've done there, which is very broad. It's a little bit of history. What do you like about the actual team? I mean, are you impressed with someone like Maro Itoje? We're really testing our camera crew here, actually. We're doing extremely well, team.
Maro Itoje
you like
is
Maro?
great.
Do you like
He's
someone
great, but Brodie Retallick is better.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You don't agree?
Farrell?
Farrell's great, again, yep. Beauden Barrett's,
At 15.
yeah, well, 10, 15, isn't he?
So,
I mean, they've got some fantastic players. We've got some fantastic players, which is why it's going to be such a great match.
yeah.
It is really going to be a great
So
match.
are you saying it's going to be a great match, but you can see New Zealand with clear daylight, or do you think it's
Well, I
going to be a
just think-
proper nip and tuck?
I think the All Blacks will score a few more tries than England will.
Okay.
You've seen our attack, right?
I've seen your attack, yeah. I mean,
brilliant.
I don't dispute that. Have you seen
Fine.
England's defence?
Yes, I have
We
seen
did
England's
start
defence,
this by
which is-
saying we'll keep our elbows in. I can just feel
We're going
a little
down
bit
the
of mine's
stairs
better
at the
than
moment,
yours.
so no, England's defence is great, which is going to be the biggest problem for the All Blacks, right?
Yeah.
Trying to break the defence. But also, on the other hand, the All Blacks' defence is great, and how does England score some points?
Well, I mean, we shall see. But I think, I think England have got enough firepower and certainly enough physicality to cause you some problems.
I think there's a bit of fire going on here too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I mean, we've spoken on the pod before. I mean, how much, I suppose, respect does English rugby have in New Zealand?
Well, a lot
Going
from
quite deep here.
Yeah, well, when you were obviously at the top of your game, winning the Rugby World Cup, Johnny
Yeah.
Wilkinson, all of that, obviously the All Blacks respect all of that.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, you sort of forget about England a wee bit.
Okay.
Because we haven't been playing each other.
Yeah.
You probably haven't had the results that you've wanted.
Yep.
We are so focused on All Blacks and Southern Hemisphere rugby, like
That is very true.
our greatest rival at the moment, and probably forever, has been South Africa.
Okay.
The Wallabies is just a team you forget.
Yeah.
So,
Rub them off. Map.
yeah,
Poor Australia.
yeah, they're down and out now, aren't they?
That is very interesting. I mean, I would say you've slightly set yourself up there. That if it goes wrong,
This is
But you're comfortable handling that?
When is this going out?
this will be going up before the game.
Great, okay.
It goes out
okay.
tomorrow.
So we
yeah.
just delete this off YouTube if
no,
the
no,
All Blacks
this
don't.
gets extra promotion if England if England win.
New Zealand journalist.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck getting back into the
Every
office.
headline.
If England do win, and I'm going to make it a big if.
Yeah.
What will the reaction be back home? It won't be anything like 07, will it? I mean, 07, the country went into
No,
mourning.
exactly. And because no one expected that to happen, I think, in a semi-final of the Rugby World Cup, right? Anything can happen. I know I've been talking up a big game, but
Yeah.
anything can happen. How will they feel? Like they feel if an All Blacks team loses any game? Like we felt when they got hammered by the Wallabies? It was crap.
But do you think that there is, because you've won the last two, there'll be less to spare, if you know what I mean? The thing about 07 was that you'd failed since 1987. And
No, New Zealand lives and breathes rugby. New Zealand expects the All Blacks to win. Like, there are the most horrific stats when the All Blacks lose, or when they lose in a Rugby World Cup year,
Yeah.
the abuse rates in New Zealand go up. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I'd heard
disgusting,
that,
you know?
actually.
Like, New Zealand just loves rugby and loves the All Blacks that much that the country will be in mourning, not like 07, but they're going to be upset about it, aren't they?
Yeah, I can see that. I think
Yeah.
it's very fair.
I mean, England could win. I know I'm backtracking here.
Yes.
Of course they can win on their
Punching
day.
the gears
Of course
into
they
reverse.
can win.
But are you? But you? There's just sort of no. There's very little from the sound of it concern, or.
This is only me personally talking, and I'm a fan.
On behalf of New Zealand, I would
well, I'm
add
a fan.
Okay, got you. Can I ask you a couple of questions about the other semi-finals? South Africa to beat Wales?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think South Africa will beat Wales, especially after what we saw from Wales against France.
Yeah. And that would give you you're presuming a
All Blacks Springboks final
like
is
95
what I want.
again.
But I've actually been thinking about this game this weekend.
Yep.
And I think whoever wins the All Blacks England game will win the World Cup.
Do you?
Yeah.
I would be happy to agree with that, I think. I mean, Wales will switch off at this point. South Africa probably won't be watching. But I think to come through that game, well, I suppose it depends what it takes out of you, though.
That's the other thing, isn't it? Physically,
Yeah. If
that
South
game
Africa
could take a lot, or injuries. You just don't know, do you?
If South Africa are 15 points up with 20 minutes to go,
Then
they
they
can see
take
their
off
way
their
into the
players.
final, then potentially that's an advantage. Although they have got the day less playing on the Sunday, but I think the winner of England New Zealand should start the final as favourites.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
And if it is to be New Zealand against South Africa, which I know, I mean, that is your greatest rival.
That is our greatest rival.
And all about rugby.
The last 2 years, look what's happened. There's been 3 games. They've won 1 by 3. We've won 1 by 3. And there's been a draw.
Yeah.
So there's been 3 points separating these 2 sides in 2 years. Like, that's pretty incredible, right? And if, you know the stat?
No.
If South Africa and New Zealand meet in the final, it'll be the 100th time they've played each other.
Is that right?
How is that for a coincidence?
That's a thing
it's
of
meant
beauty.
to be.
That's
It
a
is
thing of
meant to
beauty.
be. Please make this happen.
I mean, it would be the fitting final, I think,
It would be.
for your lot. I know that England fans and Wales fans will hope that there is an upset on the cards. Just to ask you, having been out here for 5 weeks, just your impressions of the tournament and what you've made of Tokyo and your highs and your recommends and your must-dos.
Well, this is my first Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
So, and I still consider myself still very young and fresh into this industry. So I'm, first of all, incredibly lucky to be here and doing this and sharing with New Zealand what we get to see here.
Yeah.
Tokyo, amazing. Japan have been incredible hosts for the first time.
Yes.
And first time in Asia. Couldn't think of anything better.
Yep.
Probably didn't really know what to expect, but I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
My absolute highlight in terms of the rugby, day 2, the All Blacks arrived. We went to their arrivals welcome ceremony thing.
Yeah.
And a group of kids, about 12 and under,
Yeah.
maybe 30 kids, all performed a haka, their version of Kapa o Pango.
That is
it was
awesome.
spine tingling.
Really?
These kids did it better than many New Zealanders would do it.
Oh, wow.
It was the best, without a doubt, moment of the Rugby World Cup for me. Other than Japan and seeing what they've done in the tournament, it's been so cool. And it's been so cool to see how the Japanese fans have got on, supported their side, supported every team that's been in the area, buying jerseys, the national anthems, all of that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been surprised by the levels of support for the All Blacks out here?
Not really.
As in
The
your,
All Blacks is everyone's second favourite team, isn't it? If it's not your own country, well, not in England, but in Japan.
There's a lot of respect. I'm not sure that necessarily put another second favourite team, but here,
but in Japan, the All Blacks is their second favourite team, right?
Yeah.
Now that Japan are out, they want the All Blacks to win. Like everywhere we go, everyone has All Blacks jerseys on.
Yeah.
It's like an AIG dream with the amount of jerseys that have been
Good ding for the
obviously
sponsor.
sold. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's incredible how well, but they're just such great supporters. Like, we talked to Tony Brown about the support, and he said they don't go half-hearted.
No.
They go all in.
Proper.
If they're going to support you, they're going to support you.
Yeah. What's Jamie Joseph's standing done back home off the back of all of this?
Tough coach, but a good coach.
Yeah.
Very good coach.
Yep.
Look at what he achieved with the Highlanders and what he's done to Pan Rugby.
Yeah. But
So-
did sort of people buy into his success and that kind of thing, or it is All Blacks or bust?
No, definitely. They bought into
That's
it. There's
good.
been a lot of talk about him taking over the All Blacks job.
When are they going to announce that?
By Christmas probably.
What do you think? But is Ian Foster's the front runner?
Well, if the All Blacks get through the semi this weekend, you'd have to say
He'd be the
that
front
the
runner.
job would be all but his, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? And Steve Hansen, just in the last week, he's been doing things to sort of massage the public.
Oh, right.
Like, after last weekend's game against Ireland, in the press conference afterwards, he took it upon himself to thank Ian Foster, say that he's taken the attack to the next level. He doesn't do that. It was like PDA, public displays of affection from Steve Hansen, and he doesn't just throw things out like that.
Wow.
And he specifically thanked Ian, and he said his other 4 guys, he couldn't do it without Scott McLeod, he couldn't do it without their scrum coach. So he is massaging this and getting everyone ready in New Zealand, I think, for those guys to take over. That's what it seems like anyway. Very
clever.
So.
Would you go Scott Robertson?
I love Scott Robertson. He is a great guy. We've had a lot to do with him.
Yeah.
He works with us. He's an incredible human.
Yep.
He gets everyone buying in. Like if you talk to anyone in the Crusaders or anyone that's been coached under him, they've never had a coach like Razor.
Right.
Never.
Quite sort of an out there guy, massively into surfing and...
Loves surfing, does it every day, longboards, paddle boards, all of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he had some really good coaches around him. Ronan O'Gara, Jason Ryan. They had a really, really good team there at the Crusaders.
Yep.
But I don't think anyone can replicate what he has. It'll be interesting though, because how would he do in an international environment that's far more serious than a Super Rugby team? Don't know.
Who knows?
And that's what people are questioning.
That is to come for another day.
That is.
For now, for Saturday.
Are we going back to the game?
Yeah, we're just going to finish.
You want me
give
to
us a score prediction. I've got a really funny feeling it's going to be decided with the last player of the game.
Well, I'll say the All Blacks by 1 try then.
Okay.
Let's say. See, this is tough. You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
31.
Ooh, high scoring.
31. What's 7 off that?
Okay, go 31-27. So the last try to win it.
Let's do that.
I have a horrible feeling you might be right, but by being willing to appreciate and
that won this game.
Do you? Oh, I'd love that.
Oh, bet you would.
Farrell from 40 metres out, or maybe an Elliot Daly off the left peg.
Don't do that to us.
Not
great for the heart.
Not
great for the
heart.
spectators.
I would love to agree with you, because then if you're correct, I've got it right, and if you're incorrect, then this goes
viral, doesn't it?
Yeah. Really good fun. Thank you so much for your time. Lovely to chat.
We didn't.
We kept the elbows in.
Other.
Yeah. May the best team win. Thank you very much.
You've been watching the House of Rugby on Joe, together with Guinness. Drink responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk for the facts.